RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
BooBaes.
Hi.
Hello, and welcome. Beep.
It's us.
It's us. You're BooBaes. We're BooBaes.
We are BooBaes.
Yep, and I am Caitlin.
And I am Joshua.
And we are your hosts for this spooktacular fun time.
It's, yeah.
Funtacular.
Funtacular.
I like it.
It's really fun.
That really kind of actually sounds like some sort of disease.
Ooh, yeah.
Or
like a venereal disease.
Yeah. But then I'm also
she
thinking
got the funtacular.
vernacular.
Oh, funtacular though. I like it.
Funtacular.
Stupendous. And today, you guys, we're going to be continuing our Halloween
the new
saga. The new saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many timelines.
There is. Yes.
But this is,
and this one kind of jumps around a lot.
If you know, as you can tell by the title of this episode, Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills 2021.
Yeah.
Continuation from Halloween 2018 in preparation for the Halloween Ends that comes out today.
Today, you guys. I'm so excited.
Yep. 2022.
Cool. Yeah. Gonna go watch it at the
My brain
theater.
was like, are we in 2023 already? I don't know. Time is irrelevant.
Could be. You are.
I'm all over the place.
You're in a whole 2023.
I am a time hopper.
Theoretically, what if we could be in different years, but at the same time, like be in the same place at the same time?
I feel like that's got to be a thing.
Wait, like, does that make sense?
Yeah, like a glitch.
Yeah.
In the Matrix.
Like you're here, I here, but you in a different year, I for a different year.
Yeah.
Does
so
that
like
make
we're here
sense?
together, but I'm in like 1893.
Wow, you got it.
And you're in 2022.
I don't know why in my head it's coming like that, but yeah.
I like it. And we're able to meet. It's just like You've Got Mail.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
it's giving me like
and
is that You've Got Mail?
I think, or is that the Lake House?
I was like, I was literally about to say it's giving me the Lake House.
The Lake House.
I've seen that one.
Wait, which one's You've Got Mail?
I think that's Meg Ryan.
Oh, well, the Lake House is
which I still haven't
phenomenal.
seen the You've Got Mail, but yes,
but it all
the Lake House is good.
It all takes place around a mailbox. Like they communicate through the mailbox at this lake house. Like they're writing letters to each other.
Yes.
In the mail. Okay.
Yeah, or Sandra, she has another movie called Premonition.
Yeah,
have you
does.
seen that one?
Yeah, I think I have.
And where she's like trying to save her husband, and she's like going back and forth in time, but like not. It's like the week or the days, or like every other day is like switching back and forth.
Yeah, almost like Groundhog Day.
I wouldn't be able to keep up. I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, I would too.
That's crazy.
That is a horror.
It's too much.
But this horror film, Halloween Kills. Yeah,
Halloween Kills.
We're continuing on. I believe we maybe alluded a little bit that this was not your all-time fave whenever you first saw it. This was my first time seeing it.
Did you like it?
It felt more forced in a lot of the areas. Like the Evil Dies Tonight, I was like, fucking shut up.
Like it's beating a dead horse.
Like everyone was just sitting there, Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil Dies Tonight.
And I was like, okay, we get
Especially after like, and I told you they say it that first time, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah. And then
because he puts a tip in the tip jar, and he's like, love lives here or whatever, but
and
Evil Dies Tonight. And I was like, okay. I don't even know if that was like it was such a weird.
Yeah. seem forced.
I could have
feel
done
like
without that first like love lives here thing. Like,
and
I don't know.
And I totally get what you mean, where it feels a little forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the ending and stuff, I don't know. I mean, the deaths were still pretty cool. Definitely not anywhere near as cool as the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because like that jack-o'-lantern head was awesome.
Oscar on the fence.
Very good. The teeth. That was fucking brutal. That's metal as fuck.
Yeah. And this one, I like that the lady and the husband getting murdered in this one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I felt like with the
his
light.
death was a little. Oh wait, which lady and the husband?
Sorry, not them.
Okay.
But the ones
I was like,
that were
his
just
was really
in the house.
cheesy.
The ones that were just in the house. The old couple.
Oh right, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Flying the drone.
Yes. Yeah, I liked. I mean, he got the light from up and just like. Yeah.
And man, yeah, the way it went just like right into her neck. I'm like, fuck. And then I did like the way he posed the Big John and Little John too.
Oh yeah, and see, and then I told you that in this film he would be doing that. Like, there was definitely more posing of bodies.
Yeah.
And like,
and like
even
with
in
the
park.
merry-go-round.
Yeah.
That whenever I saw that Big John and Little John owned that house, I was like, of fucking course the gays would buy that house.
Yeah.
I love it. I would buy that house.
Yeah.
1000%. And the way they remodeled it, mwah.
Ooh, it was really nice.
Chef's kiss.
It was really
beautiful.
Nice.
I'll give Big John and Little John's interior design 5 boos.
Yeah. And I just imagine
Phenomenal.
that house, like the way they have it decorated with
my
all your
dream house.
all your dolls everywhere.
The deep green
the
walls.
shelves.
It very much reminds me of my boss, Leben.
Yeah.
His and / roommate. His house in Fort Worth, though, he's done a phenomenal job with it, and he even got like mentioned by one of the Queer Eye guys because.
Oh really? That's super cool.
And he's actually about to be on HGTV.
That's so cool.
For a Christmas episode because his like Instagram account is called Vintage Holiday, and his vintage holiday collection is just like out of this world. But
notch.
his living room and stuff is painted that deep green as well.
Yeah. So he goes all out and decorates it, right?
Oh yeah, and it's really beautiful. Like if you want some really dope Christmas inspiration, go follow Vintage Holiday, and then watch his HGTV home series. It's a YouTube series that they do.
That is super cool though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm super excited for him. That won't be out until obviously like Christmas time. But they're filming in November. He's having to decorate his house like early. Yeah. And it's hard because he gets all of his he gets real Christmas trees and flocks them himself and stuff. And he's like, I'm so stressed.
Yeah, because it's early.
Too.
It's like before the season.
Yeah, and he's not even. I mean, he did pull out his Halloween decorations, so he's gonna put them up for a little bit, but then he has to take them down to prep for Christmas. Really early.
But that's exciting.
It is.
I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, they totally have the same taste, and like Leben's gay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Luke Edward Hall, his little cottage also reminds me of them. We love the gays that love green walls.
I loved their house. It was nice. And imagining your dolls up on all of it would be really cool. Like on all the fireplace mantle and like up on little ledges and stuff.
Speaking of which, did they have the original room. Vanity?
It seemed like it. Yeah.
It did. But I feel like whenever in 78, whenever they went back, like the house didn't have any furniture.
Have any furniture in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
maybe it was
know
in a
where
closet
the
somewhere.
Continuation, like it's some plot holes. I don't know.
Or they were just like, it'd be dope getting a vanity and putting it in this corner where Judith Myers died. I would also probably think that.
It seems like they're into that.
Yeah.
And
fun.
So
anyways.
Yeah, let's dive right in, right? We get in and I think this is where because in the last movie, Cameron kind of just like disappeared for a little while, like right after the little fight. Yes, exactly. Her phone and the pudding. And the pudding. So we see Cameron, he's walking on the street and he's kind of like, going over what happened with he's calling
Oscar
on the phone, right?
Yeah,
but
and he's
Oscar's
not
he doesn't know that Oscar's dead. And so
he doesn't know that anything's really going on at
true
this
that
point.
Yeah, he sees that there's someone laying across on the other side of the fence on the road, and so he's like, or next to the road ish, and so he's like, whoa man, are you all right? And that's whenever he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna hop over the fence. He goes to try to help him out. I guess he he doesn't know the sheriff like that, or
yeah,
or I guess maybe
not.
It wasn't recognizable. Maybe I don't know, because at first he kind of doesn't realize, like he's just like, it's just a cop. Or,
And he says like, Officer Hawkins. He reads his badge.
Yeah, that's right. And I was just like, I felt like it's a small town. They would have known each other. More, but maybe not. And then this is when we and I was actually surprised too that he's not fucking dead.
I know, sheriff. Yeah, whenever he actually, because like homeboy got ran over and it looked like right on his middle. Yeah. I guess maybe it was his legs.
Yeah.
But he's got to be paralyzed or something. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, of course we didn't see him walk, but I imagine he shouldn't be able to walk after that. I don't know. People
we'll find out.
Much crazier accidents though and can continue to
We'll
walk,
find out in the next movie. What's gone on with him, because it's 4 years. It's a time jump. So and then we get a flashback to 1978.
Yeah. And of course, when he wakes up, he's just like, he needs to die, and Cameron's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Who?
Literally.
And it's like,
he's so out of the loop.
They always do that. Yeah. But yes, now we're back in 78 and we're getting to see young Hawkins kind of responding to the scene and how he was one of the first people on the scene. And we were talking with his partner.
I think his partner was McCabe. Was it McCabe?
Sure. I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, but all I know is that this cop was hot. He was so cute. I was literally, and I said, "Ooh, this cop is hot."
You're like,
I don't know. The whole time I was just like, and I knew he was gonna die, and I was just like, oh, he's so cute,
such a cutie,
so tragic.
Yeah, cute ones always die.
The pretty people always die. And so they're he's talking with a group of other cops, and they're coming up with a strategy, my bad, of like, trying to get the shape, because this is the night back in 1978, of course, when Michael was on his original killing spree, rampage. And so him and Hot Cop go to the Myers house. And so that they go inside. They're looking for Michael, of course.
And he said on the way there, the hot cop was saying, I knew Michael when I was a kid. My mom would make me go play with him. He would never really talk or anything. He'd just stare outside of his sister's bedroom window. Yeah. And he said that, I don't know. He was like, I have no clue like what he was doing. What he was looking at. Yeah. And then this is where Hawkins says, he's probably just looking at Haddonfield where nothing exciting ever happens. And that comes back in just 2 seconds when he dies.
Yeah. And then they make their way through the house, and that's whenever Hot Cop does actually get up to the window, right? Yeah.
And while this is happening, we're also getting flashed to like poor little baby Lonnie getting bullied by
the fucking Maloney's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're being mean as heck. And then he runs off and he has, a little face-to-face encounter with Michael.
The boogeyman.
And the boogeyman just kind of disappears whenever he comes to. The two cops, Hawkins and McCabe.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They find him and he's like, where did he go? And that's when we realize he's fallen across the street from the Myers house. Yeah. And so that's what prompts the cops to go in.
You're right. And how scary for like being like a little he's like 8-10-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you hear like the cop, get inside your house, there's a murderer on the street, and then just bumping into him.
And it's like, ah.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then those kids were sitting there saying like, don't get murdered, Lonnie.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
Fuck you, little kids. Those were some shitty ass kids.
They were so mean.
Yeah. And so yes, that's how they end up getting to the Myers house, right? Yeah. And then that's whenever they get into the house, they're snooping around, there's a dead dog.
Yeah.
Which was so unfortunate, but it's a callback. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Because apparently
that happened in the original.
Michael likes to eat dogs.
I guess.
Remember that? Yeah. It's so sad.
It is.
Maybe he's just, I don't know. Maybe he's just misunderstood. Maybe he's not actually eating them. It's just hugging them so tight, and because they're so cute that they just explode.
Yeah, I was like, there was definitely a rather large wound on this dog. So
poor baby.
Something would have had to go
crunch.
Splat.
Yeah. Oh man. And so that's whenever did we get another flashback or something?
Yeah. So while this is happening, you're kind of. Oh well, no, it's a little bit after. So he gets up there though, and he's in the window, and of course, while he's sitting there saying, looking at Haddonfield, where nothing exciting ever.
Yeah. That's right.
Michael comes barreling out of the closet and he just like
attacks him ferociously, throws him up against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives a nice little headbang.
He loves banging people's heads up against the wall.
Yeah, he does. He really does. And I think, does he stab him? No, I think
no,
he just
not
like
yet. He's
strangling
just like
him.
strangling, like holding him really tight, strangling him with him facing the other way, and that's whenever Hawkins comes up and
Hawkins, as we saw from earlier, I feel like he shot something earlier and he was not a good shot.
No,
and then
we knew this.
So then he tried to shoot Michael, who was basically using his partner as a human shield.
Yeah,
and
shoots him right in the fucking neck.
Yeah, right where all the damage is being done.
Literally, it's so bad. I'm just like, oh, you could have the shoulder, like anywhere else, like, but like right here in the jugular.
There in the neck.
Yeah, there's no way he was making it out. And Michael's just kind of like, okay, well, you took like, care of that for me.
Thank you. And then he's like, saunters on past.
Yeah.
And he gets out, and Hawkins, of course, is, very upset.
Oh, Hawkins, I mean, obviously.
Distraught. Yeah.
He just killed his partner.
Exactly.
Or its superior almost seemed like. Yeah. It wasn't even just a partner.
Yeah, because he was a rookie.
Yeah.
He was kind of like,
new on the force.
His first time being anywhere.
That sucks.
It does. I imagine that's got to kind of fuck you up. I mean, but
damn, he
just
shot the
kudos
cute
to
cop.
him. He stuck with it, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is where, yes, we start hearing Loomis's voice in the background saying like, he's here. He's pure evil.
That voice.
And then we get a little shot of him coming in downstairs.
Which was actually an actor that resembles him.
Just looks like him.
And they put prosthetics to make him look even more like him.
Yeah. Something did feel slightly off.
Yeah, it was
I could tell. I was like, okay, well, this is clearly not Loomis.
Glitch Loomis. Yeah.
This was a Skinwalker Loomis.
Ooh, yeah.
Got him slightly wrong.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
I can see that. But yeah, he's like, did Michael kill again? Tell me, did he kill again?
That's good.
Oh my God.
And then everyone's like, yes, bitch, clearly.
I was laughing for LMAO. And I'm like, it's obvious, right? And so then they have him like outside.
Yeah. And they're all surrounding him. The blood coming out of the officer's neck was pretty good.
Yeah. And then he's like, tell me we got him. Tell me we got him. Like,
and he's having to be like, yeah.
We got him.
We got him, totally.
And then he goes and lets him go.
Yeah.
Because we don't see it right now, apparently, because we get to learn that later, right? Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we then get, him.
But we do know that he was the one who had intervened when Loomis tried to shoot him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he mentioned that in the last one. I don't remember if it showed it there or not.
I don't believe it did. No.
But he's out there, he's surrounded by the cops, and he's just kind of like, what up?
Yeah, literally.
I'm assuming this is how he gets captured again for the next 40 years.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. And then then we get a title card.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills. And we get, we got our same classic font, same old music playing, a little more intense.
Yeah.
This time.
I liked it.
And then pumpkins on fire.
Yeah. Which really sets up for, how we left off the last movie.
Yes.
And so it starts off with I think we're at the bar, right?
Yep. Back to Halloween 2018.
With the couple that we saw earlier in the film, the first movie, Halloween.
Yeah, as they were leaving. Which I totally thought these were the little boy's parents.
Oh, okay.
For a while, and then I was like, oh, JK, they're not.
They're not, no, because we very specifically find out
that
how they know
live
him.
Across the street from him. And so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're having like a little... like a couples moment? I don't know.
Yeah, they're at the bar. There's some sort of talent show thing happening. Halloween talent show, I guess. And they're sitting there together, discussing, I believe, work. They're talking about the hospital and stuff because they're dressed up as a doctor and nurse, but as it turns out, they're
She's
actually
the doctor.
Yeah,
and he's the nurse. Yeah. But ironically, they're just, kind of like how Allison and Addison and what's his name? Cameron did the Bonnie and Clyde thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reversed. And then these people sit down behind them and they're being kind of loud and we don't really get to see their face or anything. They're just being like very obnoxious. Like honestly, I would have been like, shut the fuck up.
There's always that group of people somewhere.
Yeah. And then as he goes up to the bartender is just like, don't mind those people. They're friends with the crazy lady who survived Michael Myers, basically. Saying like, and he was like, oh yeah, I heard about her, like Laurie Strode.
Strobe, yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, no, Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Doyle gets up on stage and he's telling the tale of
scaring
Michael.
The fuck out of everyone.
I know. It was like everyone was having a good time.
Literally.
Little dummy guy was like the ventriloquist guy was like singing or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, or maybe that was a little bit later, but
I don't know, but they were
having a good time.
Yeah, everybody's just chilling, vibing.
And then he comes in with a real sad
with
and
his
serious
little shot.
tale.
Yeah. And he's just telling them about the night that Michael Myers rampaged Haddonfield, killing babysitters, and encounters Lonnie's encounter with him, and like literally like points him out, and he's like, that's them over there.
The other girl who was being babysat by
Miss Kyle, Lindsay.
Yes.
That's her name, right?
Yeah, her name is Lindsay, yes.
Yeah,
And she was being babysat by Annie.
Yeah,
her name. Yeah, and then the nurse who was originally attacked.
Lindsay was being babysat by. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because she kept being Annie.
Yeah, she was the little girl who ended up staying with Tommy and Laurie at the end after Annie was dead. And then the nurse who was attacked when Dr. Loomis was in the vehicle, like they were trying to. She was the one who came up with him, I believe. And then they were like, why are all these patients just roaming around? And then she was like.
In the car, yeah.
And then Lonnie, who we saw, fell and had that little face-to-face encounter, as he called it. And then, of course, Tommy Doyle. And he's saying, that Michael had the power beyond any mortal man, basically. And he was like, but he's not going to get us tonight or something. And I was like, he actually is going to get you tonight.
He will.
I was like, he probably will. You can't say shit like that because then it's going to happen.
And the title of the movie is really on point because it's Halloween Kills, because like the amount of deaths actually in this movie is like.
He fucking took on like mobs of people.
Literally.
One single-handedly, like all those firefighters and stuff.
The firefighters taken out. The mob of people at the end taken out. Karen taken out. Ray gone. All of that count. We had counted like up to 9. And before we stopped counting on the last one, and there were still more. Like that's so.
It had
like,
to have been at least like 14 or something.
It's gonna have like mass funerals. Like there's gonna be funerals for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Where are they keeping all these bodies? Like
they're
that's
gonna
crazy.
Have to get a second cemetery.
Yeah,
they'll just bury him on Laurie Strode's house
night. Yeah, cray. And so he raises up his drink, and he's like, "This is for Laurie." Obviously Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And that's whenever we do get to see Laurie in the truck again, after immediately moments like what had happened when we left the last movie, and we see the cops where the fire truck's heading back, to the house, and that's whenever she's like
no!
Fuck, she's like, let it burn.
Let it burn.
Yeah, because they obviously want Michael to burn in the fire.
Yeah.
Which probably could never happen. But.
Yeah, I feel like regardless, he was gonna get out somehow.
Yeah.
But of course, the firefighters do go. They get into the house, and as we talked about kind of last time, the floor was so thin. And you could see through those little floorboards.
The little floorboards. Yeah.
And so then really, of course he falls through.
Yeah.
One of the firefighters says.
I'm just like, I'm like, he's dead. Which if he wasn't dead in real life because of this happened in real life, that'd probably suck for a firefighter. But like, shout out to firefighters. But like, Michael Myers is in there. Like, damn.
Yeah, and he had already seen that there was kind of it was a locked basement. He had seen the wrought iron bars or whatever.
He's like,
this
is weird.
Yeah.
And then you see Michael open up the little thing, and he was hiding in the gun closet the whole time, for like away from the fire.
Yep.
So yeah, Michael, smart.
He is
smart.
Really though.
I gotta give it to him. And obviously he comes out and he just fucking bashes this firefighter, just like murders him. It's really
pretty brutal.
Yeah. And at this point, this is when it's a precursor for like the rest of the film, because I do feel like the deaths in this film are a lot more gruesome than they were, I feel like, in the first one.
Yeah.
Not necessarily cooler, but just gruesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very almost overkill. Yeah.
Like even when he kills the old man, Sandra's husband, is just like,
he's like, I think I'll add a few more.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like looking at his work. He's like, needs one more to balance it.
He's literally having fun. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And so,
and don't they say that at one point? Like, this is Mike. Doesn't Lori say like this is Michael's masterpiece?
I think at one point she does.
Something like that. Yeah.
There's a lot of moments where she's like kind of voicing over, or a few moments at least. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like even the
part at the end, it was like, okay, girl, like this is too much.
Like over whenever Karen is.
I wasn't liking that.
Okay,
I was like,
I feel that.
This is low-key annoying.
It's forced.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that.
Definitely.
No, keep going. I didn't like the movie. That's fine. And so another firefighter is like, oh my God, there's a guy down here. And I guess he's thinking that it's the firefighter, but it's really Michael.
Because he had shot off his they have like a little Mayday button.
Yeah,
like,
that's
kind of like life alert, help have fallen, and I can't get up.
Yeah. Michael's smart. And it gets their attention, and he puts his hand down, and I'm like, oh, geez, and gets pulled, I'm assuming, by Michael.
Yeah.
But somehow Michael pulls himself up, or like is able to get out of the basement. I'm not sure.
Maybe he lets the man help him up first and then throws him in.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know. But yes.
Somehow he gets out.
He gets out. And that's when all the firefighters are like outside and they're like, what the fuck is that?
And he just walks right through the front door, as we said he might possibly do.
Yeah.
Literally.
Right through the front door. And they're all like, okay. And that's whenever.
There's like 10 firefighters out there. Some shit.
They were poor guys. It's got to be like at least a dozen. A baker's dozen? I'm not sure.
Baker's dozen.
But
13.
They are of course like getting ready to like fight this dude, I guess, in a way, but not really. They're just kind of gripping onto their like little, one of them has an axe and the other one had like someone have a saw or something. Yeah, right.
I think it's to help like in the event that someone was trapped to
get
help
in there,
saw through.
Cut through the lumber.
And then someone had, of course, the fire hose, which those things are super powerful. And Michael was just like,
yeah, they are. They should be able to blast someone away.
Yeah, walked up like it was nothing.
Yeah, and so
stabs that guy right in the eye. And I did like the like first person POV there.
Yeah,
as like we're like inside the helmet getting stabbed. That was kind of fun. And then we see like a little bit of a struggle, and then we see someone else get killed from that same guy, like on the ground dead.
Yeah, it's kind of a bloodbath, TBH. Yeah, it's pretty. It's carnage. Yeah.
They didn't stand a chance.
No.
He's just like dead. He
literally
comes in and kills all of them.
And pretty gruesomely. Like even the one with the saw.
Yeah. When it returns the saw back on. And he kind of did that. He did that later on with the nurse doctor lady.
Oh,
and with the gun on herself. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I did like that one. I was like, oh, damn.
He definitely is out for blood in this one.
Yes.
He actually what do we get? I'm like Officer Brackett.
So we're kind of flashing back to the hospital while all this is happening, and this is where we see Officer Brackett.
Yeah.
It is the same actor.
Where I had mentioned last episode, yes.
And he's obviously very aged. And he, I suppose, is the security guard for the hospital now.
Yeah.
Is what it seemed like. And then we're overhearing like Lori's in surgery, basically getting sewn up.
Allison is in there, and someone wants to check her out, but she's like, "It's not my blood."
Yeah. And Karen's washing her hands, looking at her wedding ring, obviously being very sad and stuff.
Yeah. She hasn't really had a chance to like actually like process that like her husband was dead. Just murdered.
Yeah, and burned up in a fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Because he was shoved in the.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Little closet like some cargo.
Can't even bury him.
Nope. And while the surgery is happening, they're basically saying like Lori's gonna be fine. She's just gonna be very sore where the knife wound was in her abdominal area, and because of the fact that she just had surgery.
Yeah. Very understandable.
Yeah.
Obvious,
and then we get Karen and Allison like going into the hallway stairwell. Basically, Karen's telling Allison that she's gonna be fine. She's gonna pull through.
Yeah.
And this is where Allison finally says, like, Dad's gone.
Dead.
Yeah. And then she's like, but he'll always be with us, even if we can't see him, which comes in later.
Yeah, too. But that and like, but also too, this is like also too. I don't know. It just didn't feel like too real because I'm like, this doesn't give like your dad just died and your husband just died.
Yeah,
but maybe they're still in shock as
shock,
well. Yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah.
They haven't. I don't think they've had a time. It feels like it's all very fast.
It's true. This is literally all happening on the same night. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, hours.
And whenever, like, later in the bar, when we're seeing the news flash, basically, of the gas station murders and stuff, they said, like, earlier or yesterday, these people were murdered or something there. And it's wild to think that was all just the day before.
Yeah. And especially because you're getting a movie like the first one came out 2018 and this one came out 2021, so it doesn't feel like
it's been only one day. Yeah.
Literally.
It's like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So after all of that little hospital scene, we now get the little cute old couple playing with the drones, because I guess the dude is trying to practice to get his drone license or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so
Sandra was the one flying it at first, and she seemed to be doing well. And I think we were getting a little bit of some of the news stuff about Michael.
Yeah.
In the background behind the TV, or like behind the drone on the TV.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and he's like, her house is on fire.
Exactly, because he starts talking about it. He's like, don't you like talk about Laurie Strode? Like,
she was like, she will fuck you up. Don't talk shit about that woman.
Literally. Because
he said that she lived a highly flammable lifestyle.
Oh, that's right.
As he was pouring the wine. And then he said, let's eat some Cheez-Its and drink this wine.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cheez-Its?
You don't like Cheez-Its?
Not with my wine.
True that. Not with wine. Yeah. I like Cheez-Its though.
Yeah. I'm not like a big chip person though.
Ah, okay.
I never like go.
Well, is a Cheez-It a chip or a cracker?
I'm neither.
What?
I am not a chip or cracker fan. I have no clue what they would be.
I think they're a cracker.
They're a chapper.
I think they're more cracker than chip. Because chip is like,
Yeah.
And cracker is more like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The snack that smiles back.
Goldfish.
Those are crackers.
Those are good.
Yeah. I like goldfish.
But I like the Cheez-Its because they're like really cheesy. Okay, let's stop. Guys, wait. Put it in the comments. Let us know. Cheez-Its or goldfish? Go.
I'm team goldfish.
I'm team Cheez-It. Well, and whoever gets more has to buy the other person whatever it is. Okay. Like if more people say they like Cheez-Its, then you gotta buy me some Cheez-Its. Okay. And then if more people say they like goldfish, then I'll buy you goldfish.
I thought you were gonna say that you had to buy me Cheez-Its, and I was like,
no,
I don't want to eat that many Cheez-Its.
Then I'll take them. No, oh my gosh. And where we are. So yeah, we're with the old couple. They fly the drone, but the drone ends up like crashing. And then they're like, they hear something and they're like, wait, what the heck is that?
Yeah, they're trying to fly it back.
Yeah, it gets thrown back at them.
It's chunked at them.
Yeah, and they're like, wait, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. That was kind of funny. I was like, oh well.
And so then they're like going to look, and I don't know, what's his name? Lou? I'm gonna call him Lou.
Yeah.
Lou looks into the closet. I guess it's a pantry. I don't know what it is.
Bathroom. It looked like there was a bathroom. Sink.
And it's a bathroom. You're right.
And because he busts the light out as soon as he turns it on. Michael's like, poof, and then he shuts the door and he's like, honey, there's a big man in a monster mask in there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he's trying to like walk away and pretty abrupt, like fast already. There's a wall,
a
window thing. Like, I don't know how their house is. It's like inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like inside, outside. It's like inside.
It looked like, at first I thought it was a sun porch.
A sun porch, like a sunroom. Yeah.
But then there was a bathroom. He was clearly in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he walked out of the other side of the door and was in the sunroom.
It was a sunroom though-ish. So, but anyways, basically a window inside the house because he punches through it and then is able to get the old man. And once again, it just smashes in his head.
Smashes the light bulb, smashes the head.
Yeah, literally. And then is just going ham on him. Poor dude. Sandra's freaking out. She screams, obviously. She goes and running, trying to get away, and she gets like to the back door, but can't get it unlocked for some reason. And it's just like looking back.
And it's like, girl, fucking run.
And she could honestly, he was just standing there when she's just looking at him. She could have still unlocked it, but I'm guessing she's in shock. But yes, he does grab the fucking like, what are those called? Fluorescent lighting,
fluorescent bulb.
A bulb lighting, the long tube ones.
Yeah.
Grabs it from the like vinyl hood thing above the stovetop area, breaks it, and then like uses it to just stab her in the neck. Yeah, that's a great sound. Yeah, I love how it went into her neck. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed that kill. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool.
And then
it's pretty creative.
So neither of them were successfully dead.
No,
either.
Not even.
So we hear homeboy gurgling from the other room, and Michael's like, "Shut up!" and brings him in just so
throws
they
him
can
on the table
look
like a slab
at each
of
other.
meat.
Because Sandra's still alive too, and she's like, looking at him, and then he's like bent over the table.
Doing his little
dead, and
Michael
then this
head
is where
tilt.
Michael starts just impaling him with lots of knives, putting him any which way he wants to.
Which was, like you said, overkill, I feel like.
Yep. And they're just sitting there, and I'm assuming she dies eventually, but just they get to look at each other. Pretty nice, I guess.
And now, a word from our sponsors. RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon. RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
Yeah, so he comes back and it puts her out of her misery, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
In a way, and they're dead.
Yep. And then we get back to Lonnie, I guess. And then that's where I'm like, oh right, they were talking about Lonnie being Cameron's dad.
Yeah.
In the last one, but I hadn't put two and two together yet.
Yeah, I get it.
And then basically, so like Cameron calls his dad
and is telling him like, "There's something wrong. There's this cop that was."
Yeah, and like we need help. And then Lonnie's kind of running out, being like,
I gotta go help my son.
Yeah, something's wrong. And then we're starting to get
because he doesn't know at this point that it's a Michael Myers thing.
Yeah. He's just like, something's wrong. Officer's down. The word hadn't traveled to this little tiny bar yet.
But as we see, it does very fast because the news starts going on, and then people start looking at their phones and shit, and we have
everything's pinging, and we're seeing the carnage of the night from the firefighters, and he is the sheriff.
Yeah,
the guy in the hat.
Okay,
he is the sheriff.
Okay,
and I guess Hawkins is just an officer.
Okay, got it.
But he comes in, and he's like, "Whoa, it's a massacre." And it's like, yeah, bitch, should have canceled Halloween. Like, unfortunately, like Hawkins said.
Yeah, did not heed the warning of the Harbinger of Doom.
And he looks, there's a shot later on where he's just kind of like sitting on the stairs with his hat off, and he looks like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And
whenever the whole city goes crazy.
Yeah, in the hospital. Jesus.
And he just loses control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're getting to see Julian on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, he stabbed her. He stabbed my number one favorite babysitter.
It's so cute. Yeah.
He is. And then that's when they're like, that's that little shit who lives across the street from us.
So that's whenever the couple who were playing the doctor and the nurse are like going to head out because they're going to go check and make sure that everything's okay, I guess. I don't know why. But yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, shit, that's our street. We gotta get out of here.
If you're there.
Yeah, maybe like you're in the safe. But if all the cops and everything are there, I feel like I would maybe feel a little bit more comfortable going in that area.
I don't know.
Thinking he's on the move.
I don't know. I don't feel like I would go there.
I think I would drive out of town.
Yeah, which, right? Well, and essentially they still have to get to their car. So I'll give them that because they are trying to do that. And that's whenever they're going out. And
homeboy forgets his stethoscope. And I was like, boy, forget it.
Literally. I'm like, it's probably.
He's like, that girl's probably still wearing it. Like,
it's a prop, probably, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways. And so. And if not, you can always buy another one. She's a doctor. She can afford. I'm assuming can afford another stethoscope, or has them at work. You know.
Yeah.
And so
someone else's.
Literally. And so.
The moment she gets in that car,
I'm like, oh,
she goes to start
here.
it.
Yeah.
And it's way too foggy.
Yeah.
Like someone has been in there breathing.
And so, and at that point you're thinking, oh, Michael Myers is in this car.
Yeah.
And there's someone in there and she's like freaking out. And so she ends up running back and
she says, it's the man on the TV. It's the man on the TV, which because they showed the bus accident and the two escaped convicts, one being Michael, one being the umbrella man is what I call him. Because he was the one under the umbrella, like laughing and stuff at first. And so she technically did see him on the TV. But it's not Michael.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate for this dude.
Yeah, poor guy. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah,
with
especially
his death, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. He felt like he had no other option.
Yeah, he was being like literally
chased.
Hunted.
And who knows what his like neurosis is. Like he could have like
and maybe
been like schizophrenic or something, and all of those people going after him, that's probably he might be seeing demons as opposed to like regular people, even though like a mob of people is like demons. Yeah. Essentially. And so she's telling him as she runs back into the bar, and so she's going to tell Tommy and everybody else in the bar. And that's when he's in my car. Yeah, and that's when he ends up grabbing the bat and says the fucking love lives today, and she's like
evil day tonight.
Yeah.
The nurse, the original nurse from the movie 1, she's the one who yells it.
Miss
Marion.
Marion, yep, you got it. That is her name. Yeah.
And wait, so where does that bat come into play? Because it pans in on it multiple times.
As if there's supposed to be some kind of, I don't believe that there was any, I don't remember that being from the first one. There's no bat, anything.
Yeah, because
in the second one,
I couldn't remember that, and they also kept showing his like grandfather's face.
Which grandfather?
The bartender. They like kept pinning it on his picture, and then the bat was up there, hanging up next to the picture. Yeah. And so I was like, "Am I supposed to be getting something?" But then I was like, "I don't remember this guy."
There was nothing.
Or this, what was it called? Honeysuckle or something?
Maybe. I don't even remember.
It had its name engraved on it. I don't know, but Tommy grabs it.
It's getting very Beyonce, hold up. Yeah.
And he goes out there, and Tommy, I was like, you're just gonna let him go at it alone with a baseball bat?
Yeah.
When this man has been literally shot in the head and just continues to walk along.
And so, and the car like turns on and starts getting revved up.
And then it's playing the Figaro song. Yeah. Which was kind of a little callback to the beginning of the last movie whenever they were in that nicely curated courtyard. And as everyone was going wild from the mask being let loose, I suppose, there was one patient like singing Figaro. So.
I didn't even catch that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It played it it was like a hot second before basically he just goes and crashes the car.
No, in the first one, I didn't even catch that really with the patient singing the Figaro, I guess.
Yes, yeah, he was just singing it. He sings it like twice. It's a brief moment. And
so that's happening, and Tommy wants to go at it, but then he ends up just smashing the car, which I'm just like, well, dude, that's homeboy's car, and you're just going ham on it, but okay. Yeah. And then obviously the patient dude drives off, and like, he just gets around the corner basically, and they hear him crash. And so the crowd runs to go check it out.
And the one guy's like, my fucking car.
Yeah. Which, unfortunate for him
too, but also like, at least I'm not dead. I don't know.
And so God, and so they end up going to go check it out, and he's already gone. Like he's left the scene. But
at this point, I was like, I feel like that's not Michael, because we didn't get to see his face yet.
Yeah, no,
we haven't. And so
I'm also like, Michael doesn't drive. Michael doesn't. Well, I guess he does drive. I mean, like, because he driven in the first one to get to whatever, but I just like, it just doesn't seem like a Michael thing to do that and then crash the vehicle, if anything.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah,
like, I feel like he's got more tact.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit better driving and stuff than this person was.
I said Michael doesn't drive, and Michael fucking driving all the time. He literally
it was like
is driving
in the first movie,
one.
he was driving
like,
so much.
Literally. God damn. But yeah.
But and as Tommy goes up to the window too, you can kind of see through the foggy window, and it like at that point it didn't look like Michael.
Yeah.
But it was very obscured. And then he crashes the car and he's gone, and I was like, okay, well fuck, maybe it is Michael. And then right around the corner we see
it's
Umbrella
this
Man.
Patient, yeah. He's giving me very like the Penguin.
Yes.
And so then we go to Big John and Little John.
Yep.
Which is fun because we get to see like them in the Myers house. They are
I said, of course, the gays would buy Michael's house.
Yeah. They're sitting down, and that's whenever we get the knock at the door, right? And
these fucking
these
kids.
little kids. Yeah, oh my god, so stupid because they're pulling a prank on them. Like, my sister, there was a razor blade in the chocolate or something.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
just
know.
got a candy bar from your house, and there was a rusty razor blade in it, and she's like, hurt, please help. And then whenever they're like, where is she? She's like, here. And I was like,
literally,
clearly right there. I was like,
yeah,
something's fishy.
And then the little kid goes in and steals the candy.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some little asshole kids, and so they end up being able to like scare them as well with the Meyer shit because they're explaining to them like, do you not know what house this is? You know, kind of thing.
He stabbed his sister in the tits. And sometimes at night we can still hear her like crying or something.
Yeah, it's funny. It's what they deserve, though.
Yeah,
honestly, for stealing the candy. They're breaking and entering one.
Yeah, for real.
They just go in there, the other kid. But anyways, I think that kid's name was like Dennis, actually. But
oh yeah, because whenever they're sitting there like checking on the kid, we hear their door slam, and so then at that point I was like, Michael did get in.
Yeah,
and so at that I was like, oh shit, like. Michael's there.
There's a lot of like fake out moments.
Yeah, Dennis or whatever comes out and it's like, I got the candy. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's when, they scare him away and stuff. Yeah. But it scared me for a second. I was like, oh no.
His karma is the reason why, like, just a few moments later, he's the one that gets killed. Yeah. But they get scared. They run off. And then we cut back to Allison, who sees Hawkins at the hospital. And she's like, talking to him. She also sees Sartain's body, so she knows that Sartain is like officially dead. And Karen and Allison are talking to the sheriff, I guess, and another cop, and that's when they're like kind of getting interviewed, and then this is when they get told, because at this point they don't know officially, and also Laurie Strode thinks that Michael Myers is dead.
She's still unconscious.
Yeah, that's right.
At this point,
but they get told that he's not dead, and we get that like
what?
Yeah, literally, which was really funny to me as well. But yeah.
And then Allison's basically pissed. Yes, and she's explaining that like Sartain brought them together. It was his obsession, not Michael's.
Yeah,
Michael's just trying to go home.
Yeah.
Michael just wants to go home.
Because we're getting more on the like storyline. They're really trying to push that like Michael is. He doesn't even necessarily target Laurie like that.
She just happens to be in the way.
Yeah, because she keeps putting herself in the fucking way. Yeah, if you think about it.
In which they kind of mention that, like, Allison says something about her. She was like, my mom put us in his path.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And I was like, damn, you really blaming your mom for this right now? I was like,
there's a lot of issues that they have. There's a lot of issues they have there that they need to work out, but I guess they can't now.
Yeah. And then Cameron shows up at the Cameron shows up at the hospital, and he's like, Allison, blah blah blah, I was so dumb.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we're gonna go after him though.
Yeah.
And
she forgives him quite like fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just
with
like,
all the death and shit happening, like the fact
true.
that he's just alive is probably like, oh my god, like she cared about him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe
that girl did
small
kiss
in comparison.
him, and he didn't kiss her, but he also gaslit her and threw her phone in the fire. But it's also just like he's just an immature young man
who's drunk,
little boy. Yeah,
not an excuse, but
yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it seems very small. When everyone's getting murdered around them. That's
true.
So
yeah,
I'm sure she was like, I'm just glad you're not dead.
Yeah. But yeah, she wants to go with Cameron, and Karen is Karen catches wind because they're like, talking to her about it, and she's like, "You're most
absolutely
certainly
the fuck not.
Yeah, you're not going out there.
You're gonna stay with your grandmother. And you're gonna wait till she wakes up, and you're gonna be safe here.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though she was like, Michael's coming
here to be with her. Yeah, I'm like,
so why do you want her to stay here?
The logic was not making sense. But she also, I guess, didn't want her actively hunting him.
Yeah.
But also, it's all, yeah.
At least the hospital is a somewhat controlled environment.
Yeah.
They're in a room.
I don't know, man.
I feel like I would feel safer in a building out rather than just like in the outside.
Yeah, that's true.
With no walls or any sort of cover.
Protection.
Other than like trees, which he seems to be very good at navigating and popping out from behind. So
really stalker vibes.
Yeah.
He's perfected his craft.
He has, for sure. But then so Karen seems to get Allison to agree. So Allison goes in and she pulls out the fucking knife. And I was like, bitch, why you still have that? What? And then she's like, this is for you. When he comes for you or whatever, and like lays the knife next to Lori's head. And I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, literally. Because what will that do?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you and Michael are face to face, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then not only were Cameron and Allison getting riled up and getting ready to go, Tommy is basically getting a whole bunch of different groups as that's what's all happening of like people to little mobs to go look for Michael.
Basically signing these people up to die.
Yeah.
And
very much so.
Just from random places like gas stations, just yelling outside of his car saying, I need good people to come help. If not, get in your house.
I just don't get it. Yeah. And the way that Tommy felt like he was the one that was like, I'm going to be leading this charge.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I liked Tommy like coming back, but then like at one point I was like, fucking Tommy, sit down.
Yeah.
Like fucking listen to some other people, especially when he starts like going against the police. And they're like, Tom, like, ugh, I don't know. They're saying like, we have to be, please stay out of the way kind of stuff. And Tommy's like, no, we're going to get him.
Yeah.
They're like, you failed us already tonight. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, it's also Michael.
Yeah.
So
'cause he's supernaturally charged by the mask and evil. Because with every, what does Lori say? Like every kill, he transcends into evil. Something
gets basically
less
more
human.
powerful. Yeah. And then we're back with Lindsay and Marianne and stuff with the doctor and nurse.
Because they're like a little group that are looking for Michael. And they end up coming across the park. And that's whenever they see the kids are at the park playing. And they're like, what the fuck are these kids doing? They need to be home. So
at first I could only see one kid swinging because the one in the white. And I was like, please tell me that's Michael. I just wanted Michael to be swinging on the swing set.
Maybe he'd do it later.
Willy-nilly.
I don't know. Maybe he did, and we just didn't.
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
Right before he hung up Marianne's body. He was like,
yeah, because they are kicking his little feet.
Yeah,
and so that's little long feet. And so sorry. Lindsay wants to go. She ends up going to warn the kids. And the kids are like
little assholes,
and they're like, oh yeah, there's this creepy dude who keeps like staring at us. He's playing like hide and seek, or something. And that's whenever
popping up from behind the trees.
See Michael again, but he's holding Dennis's mask and it's all bloody, and they're like, what the fuck? And she's like y'all need to go, this is Michael Myers, run. And they end up running away. But at that point, that's whenever he fucking jumps on top of the car that everyone else is in, and Marianne just starts shooting willy-nilly.
She does,
like wasting ammo.
Oh god.
Yeah. Poor
Come
thing.
on, Marianne.
And he's on top of the car, and that's whenever he is
she shoots out the window.
That's
and
right.
Yanks his hand down in there just like he did to her the first time, and starts pulling her hair out through the window and stuff, and
at
trying
this
to get
point
her out.
I was really afraid she was just gonna start shooting.
Oh, I thought she was gonna shoot one of them.
Yeah, me too. I was like, it's gonna happen.
Damn.
Yeah,
and somehow she didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he's trying to pull her up through the window. She gets out of his grip by like ripping a giant chunk of her hair out.
Gotta hurt.
Yes. And then other girl, like the doctor, gets out. And,
she starts running. She runs away.
She does. And then she comes back. But it's like, I'm like, girl, get the hell out of Dodge. But then this is where Marianne goes, hey, Michael.
Oh, so sad.
This is for Dr. Loomis. And then pulls the trigger, but it's
She didn't
empty.
encounter bullets.
Yep.
She fucking ran out of
She
ammo.
had a little tiny baby gun in her hand,
Oh,
which had maybe
God.
like 5 or 6 rounds. I don't know.
And she spent
wasted
them
all of
all.
them.
Yeah. Oh God.
And so then he's like, "Okay, bitch."
Comes in real fast and hot and ends up killing her.
Yep. And then the nurse man is trying to strangle him like over the headrest of the seat, and he was doing kind of successful for like 1.1 second.
Yeah.
And then Michael's like,
nope. And ends up stabbing him in the eye. Right through the eye.
And
Poor
his
guy.
death was very comical.
Camp.
Yes. He was like,
It's camp. It's my favorite word. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew, that one time we went to when we went to Dallas, he was like, "Oh, your favorite word's camp." I was like, "Shut up." He was like, "No, you say it all the time." I was like, "Do I?" I do. I do like the word camp. It's very camp.
Very camp.
And so, so we've got them dead, and that's whenever, the now wife lady comes back up to try to like shoot Michael.
She's coming in hot.
She's is, but fortunately, he literally just like slams the door back, and it hits her hand, and like makes her shoot herself in the head.
Yeah, she was like about to pull the trigger or whatever, but he kicks the door open and it makes her somehow the gun goes back.
Yeah,
I don't really understand the logistics, but it looked
how
cool.
that happened. It did, and she's down for the count.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because he didn't even have to really like even do anything necessarily. She took herself out.
Yeah.
And he does this little like.
He's like, okay, nice.
Yeah, and he does this little head tilt and is just kind of like looking and observing. And at this point, Lindsay is getting bricks in a pillowcase because apparently this is gonna work and do something for her. I don't know.
She hits him twice in the face with this brick-filled pillowcase, and
it allows
he's
her to
still
run off.
completely unfazed, though.
It does allow her to run off, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, she ends up getting to run away and hide, I guess, in a kind of marshy area.
Yeah, she
hides
hides along the embankment of that little river thing, and thankfully he kind of walks past her and then goes up onto the little bridge and stuff.
Oh yeah, and she almost took his mask off, right, in that confrontation.
Maybe.
That's
yes,
right.
Yeah, she did.
When they were,
and that's how she gets away.
Yeah,
is because he's
so
resetting
close to
his
taking
mask.
off, and he wants it back on. Yeah, that's right.
And then, so she's hiding, but then we basically flash back to we're with Tommy again, I believe. And this is when they come across Lindsay's car, and they're like, "There's blood and stuff, but no bodies are here." And so it's like, "Oh fuck, they took all the bodies out."
Yeah, and I think right before that, too, Karen was with Lori because Lori woke up, but she did not tell Lori at this point that Michael's still alive.
She's like, "Nope."
Yep, but then yes, right. we do have them finding all of that, and they're looking around, and that's whenever they're like, "There's no bodies in the car," but they end up going and walking closer towards the park, and we see all the bodies. There's
see the two on the merry-go-round,
the couple, and then we have Marion strung up by the or off of the swing set.
Yep, with some other mask on her face.
One of the kids' masks,
maybe. Oh yeah, maybe it was one of the ones that was left there or something.
Yeah, or it was the one he stole from the kid he killed.
Oh no, that one was on the on the merry-go-round.
You're right.
But it could have been the other one who like swallowed the razor blade or whatever
and like dropped it or something.
And she just left it there. Yeah. But yeah, she's hanging around, and then this is where Allison kind of hears
a breathing.
Yeah, Lindsay breathing crying, or whatever. Yeah. And so they go find her and stuff. And then we flash back to Lori and Frank, and Lori's like low-key confessing to Frank.
There we are. Oh, yeah. Because like, they're both weird. In the same room. Which one? Why would they be in the same room? But okay. Maybe that was a request. I don't know. But yeah, she's talking to Frank Hawkins, and that's whenever she's kind of telling him that she always had a crush on him, I guess, in a way. And there was this one night that they kissed in a bar, but like nothing ever really came up of it. And then he's like, "I know you were sweet for Ben Tramer," so that's also another callback.
Yeah, the homeboy who got ran over. But the first one and blown up.
That's whenever they he also kind of admits that this is all kind of his fault.
Like he should have ended it when he had the chance.
Yeah.
But like honestly, it's like literally none of y'all's fault. Michael is.
It kind of just sucks.
Because like who knows if even shooting him in the head then would have actually killed him.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to like chop off his head.
Literally chop it all off, put it like, I don't know. And even then I'm skeptical.
Body across the world.
Even then I'm skeptical.
Just come back.
Yeah. Somehow.
Rebuilds himself.
Or it's not even like, You know what it would be? It would be the influence of his name and his power that is like not even him, because it wouldn't be like his body doing some supernatural coming together. It would be someone hearing about it or something, going crazy, being obsessed and bringing it together and pulling it together, and then he like somehow comes back then that way. I don't know.
Michael Myers and Ghostface have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically
I
what
like
happens.
that. Put it in a blender, drink it, put a straw in it. And so we have them him doing his little, they're both kind of having heart to heart, and then the nurse comes in or whatever, and she's gonna give him some pain meds, and that's whenever Laurie's like, make it a double.
Yeah, and it's like that. I don't think that's allowed.
I don't think that's how it works too.
Also, I hope that nurse didn't give him a double.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what the fuck?
It would explain for him being out the rest of the film.
Yeah.
As well. Because he doesn't really come back.
I feel like he's got to be paralyzed.
True that.
At least in that moment.
He's fucked up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was ran over by a car.
Yeah.
And
then we cut back to the gang again, and that's when they're talking about going to the Myers house.
Well, Tommy's made it back to the hospital.
Oh, that's right.
Too. So Tommy's there, and they're letting Tommy talk for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's right.
And then basically the sheriff is like, stop, like, we got this, like, I'm the law, you are not.
Yeah.
And this is where Tommy was basically like, no, you've already failed us once tonight. And then this is where we get the like, evil dies tonight.
He's getting
evil dies tonight
from that one lady. Yeah.
Tonight. And it's like, fucking shut up.
Yeah, they all kind of suck. And then the hospital's chaos at this point. We have Oscar's mom coming in and looking for him, and it's just like, ooh, sorry, homegirl, you don't know he's dead yet.
Yeah, the poor guy at reception is just like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I have no clue what's happening here right now.
Literally.
I felt so bad for him.
There was the chaos that was happening.
Everyone was screaming.
Yeah.
And Tommy slips away then to Laurie's room, and he's basically like, you protected me, and now I'm going to protect you. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Because at this point too, nobody told Laurie that he's not dead yet, so he breaks the news to her as well, and she's just like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
And this is where Karen, because Karen was like, "Stop it!" And then Laurie says, "Let him take my head as I take his. Maybe the only way to kill him is to kill me."
Yeah, and she was fucking ready because she had a knife just like in her bag,
and then she like stabs herself
with the some type of
morphine or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know,
the good stuff.
Karen,
and the butt.
Karen was like, do you even know what that is? And I mean, thankfully we had just seen the nurse give that medicine to Hawkins. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Like that could have been
who knows
anything.
How much like her dosage should have been too, but yeah, she just gets it going.
Makes the pain go
it's
away.
Her go-go juice. And so and then we have all of that shit happening, and then we cut back to Big and Little John talking about honey, I believe.
Yeah, he said bees communicate the location of flowers, but all through shaking their butts.
That's right.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah,
I liked that fact.
They do.
I want to learn more about it.
Oh, yeah, that's how they do. They one will go and fly around and find the pollen, and then it'll come back and do its little dance, and then that's how the hive members know like how to get to the plant.
It just shakes its butt in that direction.
It's like somehow like they do a little dance, and it's basically like a little map, and then they like from that dance know how to get to the plant.
That's so cool.
Bees are like so powerful. If we didn't have bees, the whole world would like perish.
Good thing they're going extinct.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's in the news as much as it used to be here, but I don't know. I'm sure they're still going extinct.
They're coming. I believe they're not as close to extinction now that people become more aware, but hopefully,
Oh,
poor bees. Save the bees.
Yeah.
But then they get a creepy knock on the back door. And so then they go to check and they're like, it's way too late for Halloween.
Yeah, because
like,
I think it's just kids fucking with them again.
They're just trying to eat their charcuterie board.
But as soon as they go to check the back door, then there's a knock on the front door. So then they're like, oh, wait. Whoa. Yeah. So they go to check the front door, and immediately I'm just like, he did not lock the door. He didn't lock it.
Yep.
Why would you not lock it?
Lock the goddamn
and it was very specifically left on us to know that he didn't lock it, because it's like, that shot of like, you know, full frame shot, him walking away, not locking it. They get to the front door, nobody's there, and then that's whenever Big John is like, did you lock the back door? And he's like, he knows he didn't, so he goes back to check, and then there's a bloody handprint on the door, or frame. Someone's in our house and it's not a child. Yeah. And so, yeah, they're then getting their knives, and it's funny, ironic, because Big John gets a little knife, and Little John gets a big knife.
Yes, and also their
size difference. The little guy is called Big John, and the taller guy is called Little John. It's like when you name
a Great Dane Tiny.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Which is they're kind of funny to me. I don't know.
And then I like how they go, I got this knife, and then Little John's like, I got this knife. And I was like, okay, that was weird.
Yeah.
But then we get back to the hospital.
And I also want one, too. I can't get over because that's Stewart.
Yes.
It's fucking Stewart.
It's Stewie.
So I just
what I can do.
Yeah, I can't get out. Like, that's all I can see him as, unfortunately.
I know. That was immediately when he came onto the screen. I was like,
fucking Stewie.
Stewart.
Yeah. And so, they got the knives. What are we doing here?
But we go back to the hospital now. An umbrella guy makes it into the hospital.
Oh, that's right. The old crazy patient.
And basically people, you know, he can't really communicate what's going on. And he's yelling, he needs help me.
Yeah.
He's yelling, help me. And then people are like,
that's Michael.
That's Michael.
Yeah.
And so basically they're like, oh God. I was like, this poor guy's they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
And everyone's chanting, evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. And then we flash back to the house.
Yeah.
And again, I was just like, damn, that house really is so cute.
It's so cool because they're going through the whole house trying to look for him. And that's whenever we have Big John
get to the Judith's room.
Yeah, exactly. And
we see that vanity in there.
Mm-hmm. And that's whenever nothing happens in there, and we see Little John, right, going around looking throughout the house as well. But Big John then turns around, and then Michael Myers comes up through the door frame and stabs him like in the fucking armpit. Yeah, which has gotta hurt.
Yeah.
And then just like picks him up and then starts going in and shoot like what's it called? Gouging?
Oh, gouging.
Gouging his eyes out. Yeah. And what?
For some reason, when your dad was like playing with his nipples.
Oh God!
I was like,
yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, it gouges his eyes out.
Sorry, his hand motion.
Yeah, Big John gets it basically.
Yeah.
And then Little John can obviously hear the struggle, so he's going up to like check it out. And by the time he gets up there, Little John is already dead.
And he's like, Michael, you've come home.
Yeah, which is so corny.
Yes, it is. And I was like, okay.
Why aren't you running away, you dumbass?
Yeah. Because let's not talk to him.
Because then Michael just turns around and starts walking towards him, and you just hear him like screaming, and I'm just like, why do the people just wait there for their death? Because a lot of people do that with Michael sometimes.
They're just like, frozen. They're petrified.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe it's the spirit.
Yeah, I guess so.
The evil spirit
holding them.
Yeah, and so I mean they're obviously dead, and then we have the mob at the hospital chasing not Michael,
and like Karen and Lori are basically yelling like, that's not Michael, it's not Michael. And Tommy's just sitting here inciting a shit ton of violence.
Yeah, and it's the way that Lori tries to tell a doctor like that's not him, and she gets fucking kneed by the fucking doctor.
And it was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
And so she goes down.
Yeah, poor, in like the area that she was already like had just had surgery, so her stitches and her like her wound is all fresh. So obviously she is in pain.
Yeah,
that morphine was not enough.
No, because it looked like everything got ripped open. Yeah. And she was just bleeding.
Poor baby.
Then someone else was sitting there saying like, it's my fault. And I'm like, can you fucking stop? Like, just
this is not about you guys.
Stop it now. Yeah.
And then at this point, Oscar's mom is running around and sees the like morgue area and sees Oscar's body and just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. I laughed actually. So I'm sorry. Sorry to Oscar. But there's so much chaos going on at this point.
There really is.
Because then Karen is like, I've got to save this man, apparently. Yeah. So she goes off and she ends up finding him. And just the way that she's like, it's so whenever he's like around the other side and she's like, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Like poor guy's freaking out and she's having to like basically like talking to like a wounded like
animal.
Yeah.
Basically.
And so she gains his trust, and they end up running like
up the stairs and into a little
holding area in between it. You know how hospitals are. There's a lot of these like in between areas.
Yeah. And so she locks one door and then tells him to lock the other door behind her
and to stay in there. And what she ends up doing, but everybody is coming up, and everybody's like, you know, fucking mob. And that's even when she
like, doesn't even get a chance to really say like, stop, like she's trying, but people automatically go past her.
And she does end up like telling Tommy, and Tommy's like, wait, that's not him. And she's like, that's not him. And he's like, oh shit. And that's whenever, I mean, poor dude is thinking he's about to get like killed by all these people, and so he ends up breaking the window, going through the window and jumping off the fucking ledge.
Yeah, because someone had come through and they were trying to break the glass of the door that he had locked.
Yeah.
And he gets out, and at this, I was also like, he's literally too short to be Michael.
Yeah, like why do they think this is Michael?
Giant.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what are y'all?
He does not have the stature, like, and the like the frame that
he was
Michael Myers has.
Too short, and he was giving Penguin.
Yeah, he was giving the Penguin.
Yeah.
And so we're like, wrong villain.
Yeah.
And so they he jumps to his death, which was pretty gruesome. Like, poor guy, like he's really the victim of throughout the whole movie.
It was pretty gross
because he's
like on the ground
had
twitching.
no help. Yeah. Oh yeah. And the way everybody was just watching and saw it happen. Yeah.
And more people I felt were, I guess this was before he jumped. People were again chanting, "Evil dies tonight," and I was like, "Fucking stop! Please stop!"
No,
we get it.
It's bad. They're all monsters at this point, and that's whenever, because they all go down to check it and look and see what it is, and they're like, "That's not even him."
Yeah,
and that's whenever Brackett is like, "This is what he's done. He's made us all into monsters.
He's turning us all into monsters." And because Tommy was like, "How do you know it's not him? He always wears a mask," and he's like, "It's not fucking him."
Yeah,
like. It's
just not him.
He's turning us into monsters. No. And then this is where it's like, yep, nope. He just wants to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And Lonnie, now I believe Lonnie, Allison, and Cameron were like, okay, we're gonna go after him there.
Yeah.
And so they are heading to the Myers house.
Yeah.
Myers house.
Mm-hmm.
And Lonnie's basically like, I'm gonna go in alone. Like, you brought your child to the belly of this mess.
Yeah.
Like, what? The belly of the beast. Like, what are you doing? And then Allison's basically like, you really think I'm going to sit here while the man who killed my father went in? She was starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
I was like,
there's a
okay,
lot of
Allison.
points where the characters were doing annoying things and all these. Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad that you got your stab in at the end of Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
It doesn't really qualify you to do any much more.
Because for Karen, it made sense because she was trained to do all this
when she was little.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Allison knows how to operate all of these guns.
Yeah.
And stuff, like she's picking up like what you got, like she knows all these weapons and stuff. I was like, no,
it doesn't seem
you
like
actually
it's
don't
right.
know any. That would be like me coming in, who's like barely ever like even touched a gun. Me coming in being like, okay, so what you got? Like, let's roll with this.
I know what that one does. Ooh, that one. Yeah. No.
Yeah. No, I'd have no clue.
And she's supposed to be in shock. But anyways, I don't know. But yes, he goes inside. They end up going inside as well because they hear something. Is it a shot? They hear a gunshot.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Like immediately.
Yeah. So they go inside, and that's whenever they're looking for Mr. Lonnie. But unfortunately, they don't. Oh, that's right. This is really unfortunate. Cameron is walking through the house, and that's whenever he feels like the blood drop on him. And he looks up, and it's his fucking dad just like stuffed up.
Yeah,
like in the attic door thing.
Yeah, those are the ones that you pull down with the little string and stuff.
But he wasn't even like all the way. Like he's like getting smashed in between like the ceiling and the door frame. And then that's whenever Cameron is like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then he gets attacked by Michael.
And all the while, like there's this record playing of
that's true.
Really nice music. And right before they'd found his father, they found Lonnie. They found Little John and Big John.
That's right.
Posed like their little photo. It was right next to the record player, except for the roles were reversed because I believe Little John was laying his head in Big John's lap. Yeah. And then now Big John had his head in Little John's lap.
Yeah.
And she pulls a knife out of him.
Yeah, which I also didn't understand too.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, get it. Maybe you can use that knife. I don't know.
Yeah, which I guess she does kind of do.
Not really, no, because I think when she tries to attack him, it doesn't even, he smacks it out of her hand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But then, so then, because Cameron had walked off at that point to like keep it looking, and then he found him and he gets attacked.
Yeah, because he gets stabbed in the stomach.
He sure
which
does.
Is gotta hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets like ravaged because that's whenever Allie comes to like to help him, and she tries to attack, but he like smacks it out of her hand. Good thing I guess he smacked the knife out of her hand, because then she falls down the stairs.
Yeets her down the stairs, and her fucking leg snaps.
Oh yeah, she broke it, right?
Yeah, it went away. It was not supposed to go.
Yeah,
and there was a giant crack, and she yelled in pain.
I felt like bone came out. Yeah,
she was in jeans, so we couldn't tell.
Yeah,
or in not jeans. But her little body.
And then poor Cameron is just getting ravaged upstairs. He's homeboy.
It looked like he snapped his neck like 18 different ways.
Yeah,
he was like, he put his head through the fucking banister, and then was like pulling him up to like
pushing him down,
hit
so
the
he's
back
like,
of his neck, and then shoving him down, hitting the front.
Yeah, he really got it bad.
Yeah,
because he keeps doing it,
and somehow he was still alive.
He's still alive. He's just getting like more and more like fucked up.
He's like wheezing,
and then she's like, "Oh my god, don't stop hurting him." And it's the way I'm like, "Girl, stop acting like you care about this man, because the more you act like you care about this man, he's gonna hurt him even more."
Because she's like, "Come and get me, motherfucker."
Yeah.
And then he like starts coming down the stairs, and right as he is about to pass Cameron's head, she's like, "Don't hurt him, like leave him alone.
Can't leave unfinished business."
And
he's
Michael
just like turns his head around
completely, like Exorcist.
Damn, what a way to go.
Yeah,
it fucking sucks for Cameron, because actually for a moment I thought, oh, he might not like die. I mean, he might not be able to speak again, but
he could possibly still survive.
Yeah, because you just kind of like want him to survive, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, he became a little more likable.
Yeah, throughout this one at least. And so he's dead.
Because I liked him at first until he pulled that little thing,
the little stunt at the homecoming dance. That was a whole weird bit. I don't know. And so we then have Karen showing up, and that's whenever, like, right when he's about to do something to Allison, she shows up, and she's like, "Hey, come out here, come fuck with me." And
she stabs him with a fucking pitchfork.
Oh, that's right. She does have the pitchfork.
Because the pitchfork was on the front of their house earlier. Big John, whenever he came out the front door to check with that knock, he was like, "Next time you come here, I'm gonna get you with this pitchfork," and he whacks it.
And she attacks him, and it's the way that I have him. I was like, why would she stop? Like she
also like curb stomps his fucking face on the stairs.
Yeah,
she like
yeah,
and I was like, oh.
I would have kept going until
and he's still chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have kept going until he was like nothing but mush.
Yeah. And so he ends up because she takes the mask off at this point too,
and she's luring him away from Allison. He's basically like, "Come and get me, motherfucker! Like, get away from my daughter. Come get this mask." And
she ends up running off, and he does go chasing after her. And that's whenever we have her leading him, because her, Tommy, and a group of people came up with a plan to like lead him into like this mob circle. So she takes him to a trap basically, and all the townspeople
drops the mask in the middle of the road. I thought he was immediately gonna get hit with the car the moment he picked it up, and I was like, okay, let's go. And then all of a sudden these lights come on, and I was like, okay, I guess an ambush.
I was like, we could have hit him maybe. Because usually just, like, that knocks him out at least for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
Ran over him, reverse.
5 or 6 times, literally mush.
And then probably like park the car on his body, pin him under there, and then like get on top of the car and jump on it. Something to really smush him into the ground.
And then fire, and then cutting it up, and then spreading the ashes, like literally, and make sure the mask is away.
Yep.
And so anyways, they do circle him. They are gonna go with it's attack mode
Right?
basically. There we go. Yeah. And so that's whenever
she says gotcha again, which is kind of like a little callback to the last film. And then Officer Brackett says, "Hey Michael, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare."
Yeah, and that's whenever they start going in, and one after another, they all start to get pretty good little scoops. And I think one guy kind of gets a little slashed on his hand at one point, but nobody I think got hurt at this point just yet. And they do end up getting him on the ground,
like at least 6 shots in him or something, and then they're just like beating him with this like fucking 2x4, or some shit on his back,
and then he gets on the ground, and that's whenever whenever Karen like picks up a knife because she wants to join in, even though Tommy's like, you shouldn't have to do this. You should go home. You've done enough.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want to do this.
I want to do this.
Yeah.
And she's wearing a Christmas sweater.
And she's just like,
sorry.
Oh, I never noticed.
Yeah,
I never
it has
even
like
noticed.
Christmas trees on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That's so
she's
on
in
brand
Christmas
for her.
Sweater the whole time.
And then she just stabs him in the fucking
right at like the nape of his neck.
Yeah, it's kind of shoulder-ish, right here, on his back. But that's it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I could have sworn she should have done more. But and then I'm like,
this is where I was like, yo, fucking chop his head off.
Is this like the final stab? Like, is this it? Because they don't do anything else. And then I'm just like, oh my god, he's not fucking dead.
He's not. No way he's dead. Because then Lori's sitting there saying that the more he kills, this is where her narration comes in. The more he becomes something impossible to defeat. That's the true curse of Michael. And then we get a shot of Karen and Allison on the stairs saying like, he'll always be here when we can't, even when we can't see him, kind of thing. So bringing it back to their little montage on the stairs in the hospital, talking about Dad. Now they're talking about Michael and how basically his spirit is going to live on
forever.
Yeah.
Yep. And he gets back up.
That he's the essence of evil. Yep. And he wakes up and
because that's whenever the officer Brackett goes to check up on him and he just kills him.
Yep.
And then starts killing everybody. Damn. Kills Tommy. Literally. And I think at that point Karen was lured to go back into the house for some odd reason.
She looks up in the window and sees a child, like 6-year-old in the clown costume, Michael, looking down out of the window.
That's right.
And so we get like a little ghost, like a residual kind of haunting vibe. And so
maybe it was his spirit like almost transferring but then coming back into the body as she went up there.
Maybe.
Yeah. And she goes up there and then she's looking out the window while the narration is happening, while we're seeing Allie is like getting taken care of by the townspeople and like cops, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she gets fucking yeeted. She gets stabbed, murdered.
I don't understand how he walked past.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she definitely went out the front door and it looked like they were still on the front steps of the Meyer house.
Yeah.
Which they were because, that's how she looked up in the window.
And so
I don't understand how because I think she dragged him like 2 streets away or something. It seemed like. And then somehow he just walks right past everyone willy-nilly.
I don't know.
And gets up there.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Kills her. And she's fucking dead. And roll credits.
That's the end of Halloween Kills.
Yep.
I didn't necessarily enjoy this movie. I think I'm gonna give it like 2 boos. I'm gonna rate it 2 boos. Yeah.
Why?
I mean the kills were really cool. I just the whole mob like essence of the film, which really took over a big part of the film, was just kind of annoying to me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the whole point. I don't know, because mob culture, it was maybe trying to make a commentary on like cancel culture today and like, how like, but I feel like cancel culture has always been around because like mobs have always been around. Like people pitchforked it up and created mobs back in the day. Like it's just a newer version of it.
Yesterday.
Shrek.
They got him.
Literally.
They followed him.
It was a mob. And so I don't know. I just didn't really I just didn't enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I also thought there was going to be a lot more Lori. Than there was.
Oh yeah, and that part as well because Lori.
The trailer. I remember the trailer really leaning in on
Lori's not even a focus in the movie because she's literally sidelined in the hospital the whole time.
Which is like that makes sense.
Which kind of hard is a callback to even Halloween 2 back in the day.
That's true, but I feel like she still gets more screen time even then.
Oh, because she was following her in the hospital and him chasing her in the hospital while this is like everyone else around town. The acting seemed a little forced. Yeah. At some points, some of the writing was just a little like cringy.
It almost felt like it was trying to be elevated, like too much elevated horror. Like it was attempting to go for that. Some of the shots felt very like they were almost trying to go for more of an artistic.
I feel that
vibe, and it's like no, that's not why people watch Halloween.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
we like Halloween because Michael's fucking terrifying because he can't be stopped. Like, I don't need like some real deep meaning behind him. I mean, I still am excited to see like how the curse comes in and stuff.
Yeah. With the mask and how they're and how he's just more evil and more supernatural.
Yeah. That's cool. But I don't know. I felt like they were really, really trying to layer it on. And I feel like that's what's nice about elevated horror a lot of the times is it's not spelled out for you.
Yeah.
You get the idea, but only after like letting it really sink in. You don't have to have somebody narrating everything for you at the end.
And like that, if you're going to do, I don't know, like, and those movies are more fleshed out. Like they have something that builds up, or they're like really going into whatever it is and explaining it well, like you said, in a way that's not spelling it out for you, but you learn as you go. Where this is just like mob chasing, mob kill, Michael kill, and then like nothing really else but that, and then we get that at the end.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. Hopefully the next one is good, but that we're gonna watch. Hopefully, I don't know, today or tomorrow. But we'll see.
Big letdown.
It was a big letdown, honestly.
And it's hard
because the first one was so good.
Yeah.
Halloween 2018 is so good.
Yeah, it was really good. So to go from that to this, it was like, I much less enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. And yeah, there was just a lot of little ties that they tried to do to like interweave like all the old characters as well. That I didn't necessarily feel was like, it didn't need it to be H. I don't know.
It gave me kind of like Scream 5, where they're trying to
fan service ish a little bit,
and then also bring back
like whenever they brought back
Bracket.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
yeah. It just kind of gave me back. Felt almost as if they're trying to create a new generation though, with Allison being like essentially the new Laurie.
Yeah, I feel that
is what it feels like, because now Michael's killed her mom.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So. And her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, poor Cameron. That's right. He got it.
I don't know. And that's okay. Whatever. That's fine.
What do you give it?
I enjoyed it in Scream 5, so I guess I can try and enjoy. They just did it more tact there. I'm feeling around 2. I was thinking like 2.5.
No, don't do it.
Okay.
2. Thank you.
2. You got it.
It's a 2.
And this was, so I do have a nice review from our listener, Britt, who this was her request. And so I've got it all right here.
Come on, Britt.
And so basically she says, okay, so it's been a little while since I watched this, but here you go. And she said, use what you can.
We're going to use it all, Britt.
Yeah, we're going to use it all. She said, I think the 2021 Halloween Kills was an insult to the entire franchise. Nice.
I agree, Britt.
She said, I'm not one of those people who say they should have stopped at the first or second movie. She said, I love all the movies mostly. However, I will say that I thought they were pushing it with the 2018 Halloween, but at least that movie has a point to it. Halloween Kills had an opportunity to be much better. The plot line with the survivors was such a dope addition, but it flopped in every way. First of all, any of those survivors would have known how Michael operates. They wouldn't have made the same dumb decisions. Yeah, preach. She said it was lazy. And I get that he is a supernatural force. We see that in most Halloween, the most in Halloween H2O, when Laurie cuts Michael's head off. But that ending, I get it. She said they were all just banding together and trying to kill him, but duh, he doesn't die. It was just simply ridiculous. It seemed more of like a spoof of Michael Myers instead of the actual movie. She said me and my 11-year-old niece were both yelling at the movie. She said I was legit mad at the characters for being so stupid. And now I realize that it would have probably also been corny if the characters were actually able to kill him and the movie were wrapped up neatly with a bow. She said, however, what they could have done is leave it up to the audience to decide, which is my favorite thing, as we know.
Yeah.
I love being left in the dark. And says, and maybe that's what they were trying to do with the trippy like ending. And she says it was almost like a parallel universe, like which an event actually happened. She said, but I found it more frustrating than satisfying. Another part that could have potentially held more weight was the mental patient scene. Now, this is really one of the only parts that actually had depth, in my opinion. I agree. Playing on the reality of someone with mental health issues and the fact that people make negative assumptions about mental health disorder. And also that the trope of everyone, sorry, they're in little screenshots, so I have to go find my spot again. Also that the trope of everyone following herd mentality was somewhat realistic, but once again, the fact that the previous survivors had no sense of control was simply infuriating. The overall feeling that no one was involved, believed that Michael would come back, was just kind of annoying to me. It was very lazy writing. I will say that the kills were nicely done. Michael has always had a subtle humor to him, sort of mocking his victims, and I think they portrayed that very well in this movie. I agree as well. Overall, though, I'd just like to forget that this movie ever happened. Not normally this passionate about movie reviews.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but this is my favorite horror franchise next to Scream. Thanks for reading.
Aw, thank you, Brett, for your input.
Her boo rating is a 2.
Yeah, I agree. See, I feel that.
Yep.
I feel you, Brett.
We are right
you.
there with you, Brett.
Yeah, she hit it on the head for a lot of parts.
She had posted on her story that she was like, "Oh my god, I so agree with their review of The Devil Made Me Do It." She was like, "It was fucking trash,
it
basically."
was not good.
And we were like, "We got you, Britt."
Sometimes you just gotta call it like it is.
Britt's right there with us on everything. I feel like.
And she made a lot of good points on that too. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't. No, where they took it, I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, and that's just. I mean, there's nothing really, because I mean, there's not much that I can say of like it was necessarily shot bad or filmed bad or. There was a storyline there. There was a plot there. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of million other ways they could have done this story.
Yeah.
Or made something kind of cool and new.
Because I agree, like with Tommy and them all coming back and like why was anyone listening to him? Why is he inciting this much violence? Like, I don't know. It was just obnoxious. And then all those people do know that, Michael basically can't be stopped. So you have to come at him with like more force than a fucking baseball bat, or a bag of bricks. I don't know.
The movie was like trying to like be like heavily focused on like what happens to a town when tragedy strikes and how the town itself is like ravaged by the trauma and it's how it's had its hold on it, but it just wasn't told well.
No. Jennifer's body handled it better.
Yeah, most definitely. Really, really did. But yeah, that's our B ratings. Solid 2 for Halloween Kills, and
I love that. I also love that Britt asked us to cover this just so she could shit on it, like with us. I love that because
the first one was great. So
and most of like all of our other listener requests were ones that people loved. So like even if you want to reach out to us with the movies that you fucking hate and you want to tell us why you fucking hate them, and then you want us to shit on it too because we'll probably agree. Fucking do it. Let us know because that's I love how different this request was. I think it makes it very fun.
It was fun.
But yeah, so as always, we're in the lovely Rogue Media Network studios. They always take great care of us. And if you want to listen to us or any of the other podcasts, you can listen to them at
roguemedianetwork.com.
And then we're also on a whole slew of podcasting platforms, the biggest two being
Spotify
and Apple. But wherever you do listen, don't forget to
rate, review, like, and subscribe.
That's right. Because that's the only way we can get ahead in this life.
Yes, please.
And then if you want to let us know what movies you love, what you want us to cover, what movies you fucking hate, and you also want us to cover, and you want to let us know your review, so that way we can feature it on one of our listener request episodes.
Slide into our DMs.
On Instagram, and that is at
BooBaes Podcast, BOOBAES, because we're your BooBaes, not your BooBabes.
Yep.
And also, please let us know if you do go watch Halloween Ends, what you think about it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we kind of got you ready for it this week, so hopefully you're in the mood, and it'll get you in the mood for spooky season and everything like that. So, reminder, we will be covering The Conjuring 1 and 2 next week. So I know lots of people have thoughts about that film, those films, because they're great. Or maybe if you hate them, let us know that too. I don't know.
For sure.
And then we'll be finishing out the month with Mama, Jeff's request, and Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Fun.
I'm excited.
I went to Spirit of Halloween yesterday, and all the little Sam decorations are so cute.
Aw, is that his name, Sam? Oh, I didn't even know that. Did I say that in the thing?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't know. It's been so long now, so I'm like, I need to go see.
Yeah.
Andrew was like, "Is this movie actually like scary?" And he was like, "I can't see it. This monster's so cute."
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, he's kind of scary.
Yeah,
scary,
I was like, they had another part without the little, scarecrow kind of head.
Gotcha.
And I was like, "This is also Sam," and he was like, "Oh." Okay.
That one's scary.
Yeah.
He's got two sides, just like everyone, like a Sour Patch Kid.
But he does look so cute. They had like this little thing of him like peering out behind a light post. And I was like, aw, Sam's so sweet.
Perfect addition for your household.
It is. I know. I almost bought it. And then they had a Freddy Krueger mug that was just like his burnt face. Because I have the Pennywise one that's just Pennywise's head. And I was like going for it. And Andrew was like, no. He like started pulling my arm away. And I was like, please.
I want to have it.
And then he was like, no,
we're going to get it right now.
Yeah.
All right. And well, until next time, guys.
Bye, babies.
Bye, bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.